Hey, what's up, guys? xJack here. Second time trying to record this because my connection decided just to go off and kick me from finishing the video. How many of you out there know a little character from a game called Final Fantasy VII by the name of Sephiroth? Don't pay any attention to that. That was just my stupid weather desktop thing. Um, Anyway, sorry for the interruption. Um, why do people consider Sephiroth the actual villain of this game when he barely does anything? In my honest opinion, he's not the villain of this game. In the polls, he's supposed to be the top villain of the Final Fantasy series, yet he barely does a thing. What boss do you fight more in Final Fantasy VII? It's not Sephiroth. No, it's Jenova. You fight Jenova a fuck more than Sephiroth. You fight Sephiroth maybe a total of 2 times. Yeah, 2 fucking times, and that is it. Sephiroth is pretty much influenced by Jenova throughout the entire game. And how many people does he kill? Let's see, he kills Aerith and he kills the president of Shinra. Congratulations. You killed the 2 most worthless characters in the game. Now let's talk about, in my honest opinion, the top dog of the Final Fantasy villains. Sorry, Kefka Palazzo from Final Fantasy VI. There are so many things that separate Kefka from Sephiroth, for the simple reason that Kefka actually has more of a personality, whereas Sephiroth he has long girlish hair and he has a big sword. Really? No. This is what really annoys me. There's one reason why Sephiroth is still at the top of the list of Final Fantasy villains, even though he barely does anything throughout the course of the game. You know what that is? The fangirls. The companies don't want to insult the fangirls. Seriously? No. Listen up, girls. Sephiroth barely does anything during Final Fantasy VII. And how many times has Cloud had to kick his ass for him to get the message? Let me tell you about Kefka here. Hold on. Kefka starts off as a lackey in Final Fantasy VI. I mean, you don't know if this is the first time you're playing the game. You don't know Kefka's the main villain. You think it's the Emperor. Well, hell, because the Emperor runs the whole thing. But my honest opinion, Kefka does a lot of more inhumane and just sadistic things. For example, he poisons the people of Doma, where Cyan is from. Kills every single one of them. Not to mention, he's the sole reason why Cyan is feeling so guilt-ridden throughout a majority of the game until he comes to tuition, or whatever the word is, with his inner demons, and he actually forgives himself. It's where he learns his best sword skill. Besides the point, not to mention Kefka is funnier, he has more of a personality, and he has a lot of hilarious or memorable one-liners. Not to mention the laugh. The laugh is probably the one thing about Kefka people remember most. But here are the top 2 things. Or actually, here are listed small things that Kefka does that really reaffirm his position as the top dog, in my honest opinion, of Final Fantasy villains. For one, he kills General Leo. Plain and simple, he murders the guy. And then, possibly the most establishing moment for Kefka is when he kills the Emperor on the floating continent. He kills him, and then just to add insult to injury, he kicks them off of the floating continent. That pretty much says, hey, I'm taking over, it's my show now. That's pretty much what Kefka's saying. He has been scheming and plotting from behind the scenes of. I don't even think he was really supporting the Emperor all this time. He was just waiting for his moment so he can just bask in the glory, kill the Emperor, and just take everything for himself. Not to mention, this is probably also the most defining moment, is where he moves the three magical statues, disrupts the delicate balance the three statues hold, and throws the whole world into chaos. He it causes the world to go into complete ruin. I mean, there are earthquakes all over the place, the major tectonic shifts, and everything. Kefka pretty much destroys the world. He and there's this tower he creates that where people do nothing but worship him 24/7, 365. That's it. And not to mention, Kefka has become a god by the second half of the game because he pretty much absorbed all just about 90% of all the magical power from the three warring triad statues. His not to mention that's the one thing that while most villains strive for, Kefka actually accomplishes. That's what sets Kefka apart from Sephiroth, because while Sephiroth may come close to accomplishing his goal, he doesn't succeed. Whereas Kefka actually does. He destroys the world, he takes over as its new god, and he's an all-powerful, yeah, he's an almighty magical god. Seriously, dude, not to mention Sephiroth's One Wicked Angel. How many fucking times have they done that song? I mean, seriously, how many remixes does that song need? Dancing Mad is a masterpiece of Nobuo Uematsu, the the old music composer from the Final Fantasy series. The man is a musical genius, at least in my honest opinion, because Dancing Mad is single-handedly the longest piece of boss music of any Final Fantasy game. It runs for at least maybe 12, 13 plus minutes long. Because during the final boss fight from Final Fantasy VI, you don't fight Kefka directly. You fight basically a gauntlet of final bosses before you actually reach Kefka himself. That's what makes him such a better villain, because you don't fight him directly. You fight more of a gauntlet of bosses before you reach the final boss himself. Which, again, I really say sets him apart and establishes his position as the top villain. Guys, girls, fangirls, just listen to reason. Sephiroth is just overrated. And stop with the fan fiction and the freaking Gowie stuff, honestly. It's getting annoying. I know I'm going off topic here, but seriously, a person can only take so much. In my honest view, the polls should listen to reason and reveal the truth and pretty much spit in the face of the fangirls. Kefka is superior. This is xJack. I'll see you guys later. Take care.